Namaste and greetings from Daryl and Lynn Jackson, formerly of St Columns and now Tier Australia fieldworkers in Nepal, where we work with the United Mission to Nepal. For about a year, St Columns has been raising money for a women's health and empowerment project in Magma. The funds have been channelled through Tier to the United Mission to Nepal, a Christian agency working with local partners. Recently, we've visited the project site and want to share some of that experience with you.
The flight in a 16-seater takes about 1.25 hours from Kathmandu to the district centre, Kalanga. The plane bumps down on a gravel airstrip between two hills with sheer drop-offs at both ends. Welcome to Rukum. The district centre is 30 minutes walk away.
The next morning we walk for several hours to meet a dirt road that zigzags through steep mountain valleys. A jeep ride reduces the amount of walking and saves a lot of time. Jeeps can get pretty crowded though. At last we arrive in Magma, a scattered collection of settlements clinging to the hilly slopes. It may look beautiful, but life is tough for the people who live here.
Our first stop is Ward 5, a neat cluster of houses in the middle of fields green with winter wheat.
We meet Sunkoti, the chairperson of the local women's group. She has been trained to grow potatoes, a crop that pays more and has increased her income.
Members of the group have been digging pits for toilets. I suggest to Kana, the local UMN health officer, that the toilets will last longer if the pits are deeper. Sharmila's family have dug the pit and built the toilet, but haven't yet installed the pan.
Sunkoti's group, the Lorograns women's group, welcome us with rhododendrons, Nepal's national flower. Sita is the facilitator of a nutrition training program for women. So many children here are malnourished. The women come together regularly, cook nutritious food for their children, and learn how to use locally available foods better.
We walk onto another group of houses where we meet the Gower Gowans women's group. Water is very scarce here. 40 households rely on a trickle seeping out of the rocks. The collection pond is muddy, so the water is very poor quality. Man Kumari Khatri, the chairperson of the group, explains how vital water is for the community, for health, hygiene and for kitchen gardens. The group is constructing a concrete and stone box to collect the water.
Late in the afternoon we arrive at our lodgings, a rough mud and stone building beside the road. This is the washing up area. It's also the face washing and toothbrushing area. There aren't any bathrooms.
I've become quite adept at outdoor shaving. My performance usually causes great hilarity among the villagers.
The next morning we meet the Pragati Sil women's group in Ward 1. One of the members has donated the use of this field. The women have planted ginger and are hoping to use the income for their group activities.
Lots of toilets have been built here. Sunita is the chairperson of the group and her toilet is clean and well made. Rutkala is elderly and can't get about much. This is a good opportunity to talk about how squat toilets can be adapted for people with mobility problems or disabilities. Kadka and Sunita have done a great job with their toilet. The pit is deep and well lined. It's not quite finished yet. I congratulate them on their hard work.
The Akrupta group, like most of the other groups, also functions as a savings and credit group, providing low-interest loans for members.
Some of these women, along with a few men, form the local water users committee. I talk with them about the tension between the use of water from a spring in Ward 1 that people in Ward 5 also use.
With golden grain in the fields all around, it's easy to forget how vulnerable these communities are. A bad season, rain at the wrong time or no rain at all, can leave them desperately short of food. At the school in Ward 3 we meet the members of the local child club. Reshan, at the top right, is the chairperson and also leads the VDC Child Club Federation. These young people are involved in lots of community work, like keeping the playground and nearby areas clean and tidy. They collect a little money from those who can afford it to provide stationery for poorer children at the school.
They are also involved in campaigning for more toilet use. Resham shows us the new skilled toilets that are being built. Note the carpenter hard at work on top.
Jotica has been trained as a community mediator and helps to resolve local disputes and diffuse tension.
She's also the chairperson of the Dhammachara Women's Group. This group has been working longer than the others on toilet construction, income generation and hygiene. It's great to see that with little project support now, the changes have been maintained.
Tek Bahadur's toilet is amazing. He spent a lot of thought and money in making it a pleasure to use. It's spotlessly clean and big enough to function as a washroom too. Ajai's family toilet is more typical. Simpler construction, but clean, with water available for flushing and washing. Ajai was very keen for us to go, so he could go.
I photographed this toilet about 14 months ago when I was last here. It was new then, but it's great to see that it's still clean and functional.
Pabitra and her family have recently returned from living in India. The community was so proud of their open defecation-free status that they insisted Pabitra's family build a temporary toilet until they could construct a more permanent one. You can see it in the background.
Peer pressure is really important in keeping the village clean. Any open defecation site is flagged by group members. You certainly wouldn't want to have many flags around your house. Fortunately, Ward 3 has a reasonable supply of water. I encourage Kana to really emphasise the importance of hand washing with the villagers.
It's a long jeep journey and then a 4-hour walk up to the district centre again. After visiting villages in Magma, Kalanga looks positively urban. It's been a good reminder of the difficulties people face, but also great to see the gains that can be made. All this is a lovely example of UMN's vision statement at work, helping to transform communities. When Christian organisations like UMN demonstrate God's loving concern for all people, we are helping to share the good news of His kingdom.
Here are some ways in which you can pray for this community. Pray for the leaders of the women's groups, Sankoti, Mankamari, Sanita and Joitika. Their role in the community is critical. Pray for Kana, the UMN health officer responsible for the program. He's very keen and enthusiastic, with a great learning attitude. He's not a Christian, but is open and interested. Pray for Resham and the Child Club members. Young people like these are the future of their community and nation. And pray for Joitika and her community mediation work. Domestic violence and other community tensions can disrupt development work and destroy lives.
Namaste, and thank you for your support.